What's up, boss gang? It's your girl Tanisha Bynum, and this is Queen Talk, the podcast. Oh my gosh, I'm a little behind with this episode, you guys. Hurricane Helene came through and just disrupted life scheduling. Kids was out of school, weather was quote unquote bad. Actually, didn't get too bad where I live at. Thank the Lord, but however, threw me off a little bit, but here I am finna get this episode done because I just felt like this one was important. I'm not gonna let it go. I'm not gonna let it go. We're going to talk about knowing your worth. We're gonna talk about it. So here we are. Queen Talk, Season 5, Episode 7. You guys, this is my final episode of this season. I'm excited. I've made it through 7 whole episodes, 7 visual episodes this season. I hope y'all enjoyed them. This is the final one. Yeah. So today, we're going to talk about knowing your worth. You feel me? I feel like it's just like, it's so important. It's like, everything I say, I'm always like, it's so important. But no, for real, knowing your worth and your self-worth and like, it's key. It's really, really important. So, y'all know I got my handy dandy notebook and I got my pinpoints and I got my stuff that I feel like I'm going to go over. And yeah, let's get into it. Of course, I like to let y'all know what God says about stuff. So I have my scriptures that I wrote down that I feel like that God refers to about worth and knowing your worth and how he feels about us knowing our worth. Excuse me. Okay, so Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. You are valuable because of who you are. You are made in God's image according to his likeness. Heavy on that we are all made in God's image. And if we are made in his image, then why would you like not think the most highest of the high of yourself? Why would you not think that like you yourself are a soldier on the front line, a conqueror, an achiever, a person who just radiates peace, love, joy, and happiness? So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Couple other verses that I wrote down are Psalms chapter 139 verses 13 and 15 when God talks about how we are all fearfully and wonderfully made. That's a big one too. Get into it. God has a lot to say about knowing your worth and how he made us and who he made us to be. So yeah, get into that. Live that out. Be the best you. Now, some of the points I made, one of the ones I started with is it's healthy self-worth and self-appreciation to have healthy expectations when it comes to your life. Now, I'll read it again because I do be talking fast a little bit. It's healthy self-worth and self-appreciation to have healthy expectations when it comes to you and your life. Now, by that I mean it's good self-care and self-worth to like expect things out of people. Like one thing that I always say is like, I don't let people just chill in my life. You got to have a purpose. Like if you're a part of my life, you definitely have a purpose. You're not someone who just like lounging around, who just do the bare minimum to stay around, or no. You're supposed to have expectations and people are supposed to have expectations of you. Now, I'm not saying just like be usury and leechy towards one another. Of course not that, but everybody and everything got to make sense. You feel me? Like, and it's okay to have expectations of people. Like, it's very healthy to have expectations of people and to be able to have people in your circle that you could depend on. Like, you're worth that. You deserve that. I feel like that's healthy self-worth and self-love to just know that. So, you're worth it. Okay, next one. In all aspects, situations, changes, and choices, always go into them knowingly and collectively how you are beneficial to said situation or circumstance. I'll say that again. In all aspects, situations, changes, and choices, always go into them knowing how you are beneficial to said situations or circumstances. I do feel like that is really important. So, and what I basically mean by that is like, for me personally, and not just for me, my advice to everyone is a way that I practice my self-worth is like, I'll use a job for example for that. Like, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I bring to the table, and I want to make sure I'm compensated correctly for what I bring to the table. Like, first of all, for starters, I'm not working for less than $16 an hour. And for me, that's like my minimum wage. So like, because I know I'm worth that. I know that I could do blank, 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 blank. So why would I accept anything less? And that's what any situation or any circumstance. Know what you bring to the table so that you're able to, you know, negotiate. Because I guess, and you know, I guess you really can and cannot negotiate your self-worth. But in situations like jobs and things, it's negotiable only because it comes with the price. But in certain things in life, your self-worth is just not negotiable. It's just like, no, I can't do that. I can't go there. I can't be with them. And this is just because some things are not negotiable. So let's just not get that twisted just for that elaboration. Next, be humble, but also conscious about everything because balance is key. That one is important. That goes hand in hand with like what I was saying. Like, it's important to know what you bring to the table, but it's also important to be humble about it just as much as you're conscious of it. Because balance is key in everything you do. So, you know, of course, don't be like beating your, well, I ain't gonna say don't beat your chest because it just depends on how you beat it and when you beating it. However, like, being humble is key because God gives and God takes. Just like you get it, you can lose it. You know how all of this stuff goes in life. So it's okay. It's okay to be proud and confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. But in the same sentence, be humble about it too, because the humble also don't stumble, you know? And by all of those things, I just mean like, be humble. And I'm trying to think of how to explain be humble. Like, know what you're capable of, but don't be arrogant. Don't brag on it. Don't boast too much. Don't throw it in other people's faces. Just knowingly carry that you know who you are and what you're capable of. I guess that's my definition of being humble. Okay, so another thing I wrote is be realistic and never be a nickel looking for a dime. Expect what you can also provide when it comes to others, situations, places, and things. That's important. That's very, very important. So, like, yeah, how do I elaborate? I pretty much said it, but don't expect things that you can't provide out of people, places, or things. Like, I'm big on jobs with this because I believe we live in times where people settle for, like, the worst with jobs. Like, but in the same sentence, if you know that you can't do this, or that, how can you expect that type of pay? Or if you know you can do this, that, and the third, then how can you settle for that type of pay? Knowing your worth and being realistic about getting out what you could put in is very, very important in everything. But like I also said, don't be a nickel looking for a dime. Like, you got to know what you bring to the table. You got to know that what you bring to the table, can you multiply it? Do you know how to add with it? It's so much when it comes to knowing your self-worth, but it's just really key and really important. And I made this chart about some healthy signs of high vibrating people who know their worth, like some things that would be like healthy for them. So I will read out my chart that I made. And I broke it down to jobs, friendships, relationship, marriages, and parenthood. So with jobs, healthy expectations and things that come with knowing your worth would be to expect good pay, expect a good work environment, expect growth, expect appreciation, but also be humble and thankful for your job. Friendships. Expect reciprocal energy, being included, being invited, genuine connections, happy times, good memories. Relationships and marriages. Understanding, appreciation, communication, commitment, loyalty, experiences, security, and dependability. Parenthood. Appreciation, understanding, compromising, and experiences. All of these types of things are healthy expectations and boundaries and things to set when knowing your self-worth and making sure that your cup is being poured into, making sure that you're taking care of self and everyone around you is helping take care of self, because everyone, because I'm going to be honest, I'm one of those people I'm a very loving person, and I'm like one of those people who kind of take care of everyone around me, my kids, like whatever, like I'm a very selfless person. So it's very important for me to be connected to people who are also all the things I listed on my list, because if not, then I'll be drained because I'm so busy pouring into other cups. So like, it's okay to have boundaries and expectations of people to be poured back into. So that's all about knowing your self-worth and what you deserve and all of that, and it's just healthy. So next thing is, it's okay to walk away from people, places, and things that you feel do not align with your self-worth. Period. Do I need to say more? Like, that's a part of self-worth. And like, I seen a quote on Facebook and it was so true. And it was just like saying how sometimes when you cut people off or you have to walk away from people, they'll label you as this and they'll label you as that. Sometimes it's okay to be the villain in other people's story. If making me the villain is like a part of it for you, then okay, cool. But just know that it's okay to walk away from, if it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't align with your life, if it's making you feel less than out, or if it doesn't align with what you've set as your self-worth and your standards and your expectations and boundaries for your life, you can walk away from it. And if you got to be the villain in a story, okay, just make sure you're doing things that you can live with, Self-love is very important with knowing your worth. Key. It's key. It's key, because at least with me, like I said, I always got to use me, because who else do I know so well? When it comes to me, I love me so much. I can't let nobody mishandle me. Not my kids, not my family, not a job, not a man, not a friend, not a nothing. You hear me? I love me so, so, so very much. Like, why would I let self-love is key to knowing your self-worth. Like, I love me. Okay, so this is the next one that I wrote down, a key point. Just like faith in everything else, you have to have faith in yourself and trust that you can become everything you envision and you see yourself as. That's a good one. And that's true. Like, I just believe that a lot of people have faith in everything, and some people lack faith in other things, and that's why they lack faith in themselves as well. But the same way that you have faith in this, or you have faith in that, or you have faith you'll get this job, or you have faith about this house, or you have faith in this man, or you have faith in these friends, or you got faith in this car, whatever. Put that same faith in yourself and know that you might be here today, but you could be there tomorrow. You might not know about this, but all you got to do is learn. Practice makes perfect. You have to have so much faith in yourself to know that if you can believe it, you can achieve it. You have to have just like extraordinary faith when it comes to you. And that's how I am. I don't care what nobody say about me. Like, I can do it. I'm going to do it. If I set my mind and say that, like, I believe I can do it, or if it's something that I think I want to do, absolutely believe in myself enough to go after it. Yeah, and the last one I wrote is self-belief is important. Do you believe in yourself? Because that is the key to self-worth. Self-love, self-belief, faith, ambition, it all starts within self. And like knowing your worth and loving yourself, and all of those are key factors to leveling up and having things in life. And it all boils down to, what do you think about you? Because that's what truly defines you. What you think about yourself, how hard you're willing to work for yourself, how much you're willing to stand in your boundaries, how much you're willing to stand in your truth, how much you're willing to, everything about what you choose about yourself is is self-worth. And like, it's just important to practice healthy habits when it comes to self. So yeah, know your worth, love yourself, believe in yourself, have crazy faith when it comes to you and what you think you can achieve for you, and study what God says about it too. So yeah, believe in yourself. It all starts with you. I'm out, guys.